Scatterbrain podcast episode 2 going now. First of all, I do not feel like I look good this early in the morning, nor as I probably shouldn't, because I woke up and hit the ground running, and that's okay. There's probably going to be so much noise, and this is probably the worst place to record. And I just want to say, every episode will not be me in my car. It won't. But I was out because I'm trying to get something accomplished, and where I need to go does not open for 45 more minutes. So I'm like, okay, let me just find a nice spot and start recording. Let me just record this podcast. This episode number 2. So yeah, that's why we are in the car again this episode, but I promise you every episode is not going to be in this vehicle. Though, how cool would that be? I mean, is there even a car podcast yet? Like, how cool, right? And we got the rainbows representing, obviously, because it is Pride Month. How are we doing? I love it. This episode will come out next week, so this weekend, is Pride for my city, and I'm going to be in it, and I'm going to be balls to the wall, knees deep in rainbows, and I am taking one of my cousins, potentially two, taking one of my cousins because her graduation was last month, and because her graduation day fell on a weekend, I had to sadly work, because I work overnight on weekends. So I sadly missed her graduation. And I know it devastated her because she's like so in love with me, and period, it's mutual. And so I told her, I'm like, bitch, Pride's next month. So I'm gonna make it up to you by taking your ass to Pride, because she ain't never been. Because she's freshly 18. She's freshly 18. Well, 18 at the beginning of the year, because we're both January babies. So I said, bitch, I'm gonna take you. And she said, okay, period. But I did also extend the invite to my other cousin, her sibling, because I'm just like, if you want to see what it's about or whatever, like, you're more than welcome to come. I don't know if they're going to come, though. But that's cool. That's cool. So it's kind of great that I'm doing this episode now. I'm kind of doing this episode right now because of some things that have taken place. I know once I talk about this, it's going to be permanently on the internet, and that's fine. I personally don't have a problem with it. Maybe I don't have a problem with it at all, but it's just going to be different for me because it has been exactly, what year is this? So at the end of this year, it will be 10 years since I've had any kind of dating, any kind of relationship, any kind of just serious kind of thing. And that's kind of where I am right now. Like, feet back in the water. And I just want to talk about it because it's all going to wrap back around to me, and kind of like what I talked about last episode, you know, with like my mentals and things. But there's this beautiful, beautiful gentleman that I have had the honor to interact with and meet and talk to and hang out with. And it's probably been, and this is very light talking, like we're kind of sort of getting heavy now. But we have hung out with each other twice and things like that. So I want to say a month. It's been a month. Or at least a few weeks. Like we definitely got to be a month in. But my shit runs together, okay? My shit genuinely just runs together. Something could have happened 4 months ago. And I'm like, oh my God, wasn't that just like the other day? And vice versa. Something could have happened the other day. And I'm like, bitch, that was 6 years ago. Anyway, been talking to this guy, and very nice. Very nice. He's texting me right now. I'm sorry. So I was just reading what he said. But very nice gentleman, very beautiful specimen, a very beautiful human. And I mean physically. And I'm not talking just about like his looks. But I don't want to get into too much detail because I don't want to put like the spotlight on this person. But just a very beautiful, beautiful human. Literally head to toe. Beautiful. I guess I can. I know the word, forgive me. I'm a little ignorant in it because like I've never like experienced it. I know it's out there. I've seen people with this skin condition, but this is literally my first time, you know, where it is like in my life. But you know, it's just like that that spotty skin, you know, so like darker skin tone, but then the white spots just all over him. And it is so beautiful to me. It's just radiates a beauty that I don't have, like I've never seen in someone. Just beautiful, right? Why did I bring that up? No idea. Sorry. Scattered Brain, welcome to Scattered Brain Podcast. But anyway, just a very beautiful specimen, human. Specimen sounds weird. Human. And that's what mainly attracted me to him. Well, okay, it was his beautiful face, I'm not gonna lie. But then, you know, seeing the skin and stuff, I was like, ooh, you got me hooked. But anyway, so, and this is my first time. I talked to someone a few months ago, but I knew that really wasn't going to go nowhere because I know how I approach situations with people because I have the mind of a mastermind. You just know when you go into certain situations, what's going to work, what's not going to work. Is this going to be serious? Is this not going to be serious? You know what I'm saying? So technically I had 2 like that in the past 8 months. And the first one I knew wasn't going to go nowhere. I knew that that was me officially getting my feet wet after being single and not trying and not giving anyone the time of day for so long. So I did take that first guy, on a couple dates, but I knew it wasn't going anywhere. I did. So I knew I was going to get out of it what I wanted out of it, and that was it. And that was just getting my feet wet. Hey, let me take you on a date. Let's do this. Let's go grab coffee kind of thing. Me taking the initiative, which is something never done. Never. So it was nice to, bitch, I'm about this life. I can do this. I'm 32 years old. I can fucking do this. And the second guy was, I don't even know, just eye candy. Very, very straight. I'm just going to be honest. That second guy was very straight. He was kind of sort of, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but he was just gay for pay. And no, we didn't do any sexual things. Like but he would come around because he knew I would throw money if he needed money. Kind of thing. So that really wasn't serious at all. Though we were going to try and make it serious, but he had his whole bag of demons that I told him, if your demons overpower you, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Like, I'm straight up honest. Like, if you let your demons control you because you clearly have that strength to keep them controlled, if you let them willingly overtake you, we're done. And he understood and respected that, and then let his demons overtake him. So, listen, like Chris Brown said, ain't nothing to cut a bitch off. That has resonated with me for the years that song has been out. Because for me, I don't know if it's the Aquarius in me or what, but it is nothing to cut someone off. There are very few people where I don't have that power to do it. Even if I think about it, like, I can't do it. You know, because that's that deep love kind of stuff. Very few people. Not saying I don't have deep love for anyone, but if someone does some shit I don't like, it is nothing for me to cut them off. I don't care how much I love you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that kind of just contradicted itself, but I know what the fuck I mean. Anyway, so this gentleman is literally the first one where it's like, what's going on? What am I feeling? What is this? What is happening? I want to talk to you. And so like it was very much mutual. So it's not like I went and just started like pouring myself onto this guy and he's like, oh bitch, I got you. It was very much mutual, and is. I need to not speak in past tense. I'm speaking in past tense in terms of the beginning. Now, some things did happen that was very much out of my comfort zone, because this is all out of my comfort zone. Very much so, because the first one I took initiative, but I knew it wasn't going nowhere. I knew I was just testing my waters, testing my abilities, testing my strength, and bitch, you can do this. Okay, the second one was actually kind of sort of flipped. He was doing the initiative. And based on our conversations, I knew how it was going to go anyway, so that's fine. But this one is me, like, really initiating. Like, hey, let's go on a date. Let me take you out to get some food. I want to be with you. I want to spend some time with you. So that's very much out of my comfort zone. Though I did it. I did say those things. I did tell him, hey, I fancy you. Which was, whoa, crazy to me. But I did it. Now, when this happened, of course, I'm feeling so many emotions and my mental's going fucking crazy because I'm not used to this. I'm not. So, and mind you, this is still not like an in-person kind of conversation. Because me trying to talk to people in person, I lose it. I don't know how. I don't know how to grasp it. I don't know how to control it. I don't know what emotion's going to come out of it. And that's one of the reasons why I prefer writing or texting. Writing is for us babies born in the 1900s. Because we didn't have texting back in the day. You know, we would write. When we wanted to talk in school and stuff, we wrote notes, bitch. We didn't have no fucking phone till we was about 13. Then we got phones. Because they had just hit the market. Anyway, I'm all about writing or texting because I'm so good at expressing myself. But it's very much, I don't want to say monotone. But it cuts out any like anxiety or anger that comes from the anxiety, or, you know, all those unnecessary emotions. I can use my words to describe what that feeling is without having to say, this is what I'm feeling. I'm so good with my words that you could tell, oh, he's loving this. Oh, okay, he's just a little upset, or he's sad, or he's concerned, or he's having a doubt, but he's not mad. Whereas, you know, in person, I can be like, are you trying to fucking use me? You know what I'm saying? So one spot can take you one direction and the other one can just take you way down south. Now, I'm putting all this into perspective for you. So I told this beautiful gentleman, I fancy you. Okay. And he's like, all right, bet. So then we had our dinner date planned for the next day. And this is something, I'm going to put it into perspective on how it all really just comes back to me. But I'm going to get there, right? So then the next day, we didn't talk until later in the day. And later in the day when the conversation started, which was obviously him reaching out to me, because I'm fucking horrible at texting people. I'm horrible at reaching out to people. I mean, literally, I like to think I have great communication skills, but I don't. I can communicate with you if you're coming to me all day long. All day long. I wish I could like just do like a screenshot of messages between me and my manager, because you will see all the attitude he gets when I start the communication. But I mean, that's work related. Who doesn't have an attitude at work? But even then, you know, it could be better, you know? But that's a story for a different motherfucking podcast episode. So anyway, he reached out to me this day, and then it was like, I need your help. And I'm like, okay, if I can do it, I got you. What's up? And he told me what was going on. I said, okay, baby, I'm sorry. I can't do it right now. You know, this is very last minute. I have someone visiting me who I haven't seen since last year. And, you know, got my dog's appointment right after kicking my friend out to get my dog to the appointment at this time, you know, just busy, you know, was kind of planning on getting together with you later this evening for dinner. And very understandable. He understood, you know, there was no attitude, there was nothing. And that's why I know it was all me. And one day I will get into the depths, if not this episode, on why I am like this. And I know I need to do the same for him, and I will, and I explain that to him. Well, anyway, cool. So that kind of just like instantly rubbed me the wrong way. And this is just because of my PTSD, if you will. Because it was not him, and it was not anything he did. It was just me and my wheels turning in. Okay, this happened to me before, this happened, kind of thing. So anyway, let me get my bitch be gone. Sweet tea. I'm like, okay, this makes me feel weird, because I just told him the day before that I really fancy him. And then our conversation kind of stopped until now, and he's reaching out for help. So in my mind, I'm going, okay, he knows I like him. So now is he just going to try and, you know, for all intents and purposes, just use the word use me, but not using me, but use me. And that's probably my fuck up, because the first guy I talked to, the first one that I talked about earlier, that's really much what that was. And I knew that going into it. So I knew if I didn't want to fuck with it, or if I couldn't do it, I just wouldn't talk to him. And then when I could, I would talk to him, and blah, blah, blah. So as you can understand, those first two, that's why I don't count them in my 10-year separation, because I knew how those dynamics were working. And this I approached with a different dynamic. This is not I like you, I want to get what I can out of you for my personal needs. So whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? This is more of a teamwork. You want to team up? Kind of thing, right? So anyways, I'm sitting here talking to my friend about it. I'm like, yo, you know, I told him this yesterday, and this is what's going on today, and we're supposed to go out tonight. And am I crazy? And he goes, no, you know, just, there's nothing wrong with that, you know, just make sure you all talk and there's an understanding. And, you know, if he cancels the date because he's upset you couldn't help him, that's one thing, but, you know, don't read into it. And I'm like, okay, bitch, I fuck with you. I've read into it anyway. But so I messaged him later after I got home from my dog, and I'm like, hey, how's your situation? And I didn't hear nothing, and that's okay, because he had this situation going on. But still, in my mental, that's like, oh, now he's not talking to you. Which is, again, all my fault. So I eventually texted him again. I'm like, you know, I just dropped this much money on my dog. You have your situation going on. Let's reschedule this dinner date for next week. You know, let's just push this back when we're both, you know, more comfortable and more free to do this. And he was completely on board with that. Love that. And I'm not going to say we did not continue to talk. We talked very little. Okay, so I fancy you was Wednesday. Dinner date was Thursday. Cancellation was also Thursday, blah, blah, blah. And then so Friday we talked for a very little bit. I think it was during the day or closer to the time I had to go to work. I don't know. but because I was working, you know, didn't talk much. And then Saturday was kind of the same. And then Sunday hit, and it was, hey, can you help me with something else? But it all ties into the same situation. It does. It all ties into the same situation. You know, so they needed to, I don't want to say that. Anyways, it all ties into the same situation. So, but that one was going to be a lot more strenuous because that is a very distant favor. I don't know what the fuck. That's a very time traveling favor. Not time traveling, but whatever. It's like something that had to be done, but it's like an hour away. And I was like, I was like, well, maybe, you know, I could do this. But it was the way that it was approached, and I understand we are from two different worlds. We're two different countries, literally. You know, he's a beautiful South American man. And, you know, there's just a difference of worlds. Like he said himself, his communication is, mwah, ooh, do I fancy him. And I'm very glad we talked. But I'm going to get to it. I'm sorry. Scattered brain. Welcome to the podcast. Anyway, it was just the way he brought it up. And then, of course, my mentals of my PTSD and years of trauma. It was like, you know, you can do this for me and then we can eat and we can, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so in my head, I did not say this to him, but in my head, it's like, okay, so if I serve you your favor, then I get my date. You see, and that's not his fault. I mean, I just read it wrong and I read into it as I'm so good at doing. But I'm like, no. But again, as I'm gonna keep saying, that was on me. So I just told him, I was like, yeah, babe, I'm working, I'm sorry. Which I was, because that conversation was Saturday into Monday. So I was working. Or maybe it was Sunday into Monday. I think it was Saturday evening into Monday. Because I was working, because I worked till 6 a.m. 7, 8 a.m., whenever the fuck I leave that place. But, you know, it was just like, I think that was Saturday afternoon because he had messaged me Sunday night. He was like, come over after work and you can sleep with me. Like, we can sleep next to each other and be together. Regular sleep, people. I'm not going to say that one going to happen because the connection be there, but it obviously he wasn't saying that. He was like, you know, we can actually sleep next to each other. And that was fucking beautiful to read. You have no idea what that did to me. Like, for that split second, I'm like, that's fucking, I want that. That's what I want. But of course, in my mind, after everything that has happened privy to that, I'm like, okay, so it's kind of just like a catch-22. Like, you're securing me so that I can do this for you. And that's really fucked up. That's really fucked up on my part. It is. And before I jump into that. So then I didn't talk to him. I didn't text him back. I didn't say anything. I just finished up at work. I went home and I passed the fuck out. Like, I didn't say anything. And this was eating me up. I don't want people to think like, damn, you're just a bitch and you went to sleep. Like, that shit was eating me up because I fancy this gentleman. I very much fancy him. I cannot express that enough. I fancy him. I fancy him so much that I have went on those little gay apps that all the gay people know about. And I was like, like changing all my stuff around to like, I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for this. You know, just literally changing my shit around because I want to give him that kind of respect. That's how much I fancy him. And ain't no way in 10 years made me do that. I'm just saying. So then, a few days pass and he texts me and he's like, you don't love me no more. You forgot about me. This was actually yesterday. And I was like, mm-mm. I said, I ain't forget about you. I have not forgotten about you. I said, and actually, all I have done is think about you. And then we got into the conversation. And I am not going to put our private conversation out on blast because there needs to be a level of privacy and respect. But we understand each other and we talked it out. And basically, I will speak on my part because it was all me, and he's the one that did so good in expressing, like, you just need to remember, babe, we're from two different worlds. We come from two different worlds. He's like, I don't feel like I did anything wrong. And I told him, I said, you did not. You didn't. Because when you asked me and I said I couldn't do it, you were still very respectful and nice. And you wasn't like, okay, thanks. And then, just fucked off, It was literally on me because instead of me just trying, and the same with Sunday night into Monday, I should have just told him how I felt. But instead, I just shut it down, stepped away, and blocked off. And that is my fight or flight mode. That is my survival instinct. That is like constantly in survival mode. That's just what I do. Like, okay, I don't want to do this because this is going to fuck me up. And I care about what it's going to do to me. So I'm just going to back off. On top of, I cannot communicate. So in that moment while I'm at work, it just did not seem very logical for me to be like, it seems like you're only reaching out to me when you need something now because I said I fancy you. See how cunt that sounds? Even if that is the feeling. And I always tell, oh my God. And I always tell this to people. When someone says to me, I don't know how to say something, I always tell them, say it how it's on the fucking tip of your tongue, and then we work through it. And I so much need to practice what I preach because it would just be so much more helpful in my day-to-day life. And that's with everyone. That's with my parents, my family, my coworkers. Well, I don't hold back on my boss, but I really don't hold back on my coworkers either. Sometimes I do. But, if I would just learn to get that out there, maybe we could be at a different level. You know what I'm saying? But even with friends, long-term friends, like, if there's some shit I don't want to deal with right in that moment, I won't deal with it. I won't. I'll just like, what? I have legit lost friends for that because I'd rather just cut you off than try to communicate with you. Because I have this fucked up mentality where it's like, if we grown, you know what you're doing. But that's not always the case. It is not always the case. I'm very hard in my life, and I need to be more soft. I used to be soft. I used to be so fucking soft. But for years, my mom would be like, oh, you're so gullible. You would, so many people could just walk all over you. So it's like, okay, well, let me not let that happen then. Let me not be gullible no more. Let me just be a hard-ass bitch and don't let shit get past me, And so I built that, and that was from, like, into my teens growing up. So it's not like that's just a mentality I took on 2 years ago. So trying to break that piece by piece, chip by chip. I know I can get there, obviously. And I'm not trying to do a whole woe is me kind of thing. Like, it's all on me to get better. And for the most part, I would like to think, especially within this year alone, I have seen myself change. A lot of times it's still pretty shitty for me. But there are moments where I'm like, I ate that. I did that. A year ago I would have been like this, but today I'm like this, and it's nice. It is nice. Now, in terms of the whole, obviously I have trust issues. And obviously those of you who have been in my life for a period of time know why they are so strong right now. Obviously, because just 2 years ago, what happened? Whew. So it's like, okay, I need to, obviously, like everything else in your life, you should always be separated. You need to separate this person from this person because they are not the same person, in this situation from this situation because it's not the same situation. And period. And I know that much. I do know that much. But still, it's just like that trauma wound just gets opened back up, and it's like, oh my God, is this person gonna, use me like my dad just used my family for 10 years? So it's that kind of shit that's like, but I know I cannot do that, because if I keep doing that, where am I going to be? Who am I going to have in my corner? You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I going to have in my corner? No one. My stomach won't shut up, and I do apologize. But the conversation we just had was so very nice, and so very, because he texted me last night, and I texted him back instantly right before going to bed, because I'm like, you know what? No, this is it. This is it. You just tell him. And I did. And I even told him, I said, please don't take this the wrong way. Like, I'm horrible at communicating. I said, which is why I kind of backed off, because one thing about me is I will tell you how I feel. I will tell you what's going on. It's just going to take me some time. Because if I do it in the heat of the moment, it's going to go crazy. It is. It's going to go crazy, because you're rather not going to understand what I'm trying to say or hear what I'm trying to say. And then you're going to get reactive, and then I'm going to get reactive. One thing about me is I'm a react based off your reaction, and that's on period. Because if you want to get gutter, we can get gutter. If you want to get lively, we can get lively. If you want to get chill, we can get chill. Like, it's cool. Like, I will match your energy. What you trying to do? But it's not a good thing, because, my fuse is like this. So when you probably got one good time to get rowdy, and then I'll be like, okay, you're not understanding me. This is what I'm trying to say to you. And then it still don't get through, and then we still fight, and then it's like, all right, cool. So what the fuck you want to? And that's not good. It's not good. It's cool if it's like some bitch on the street, sure. But like, for people that are like you want in your circle, or people that aren't in your circle, that's not healthy. So, but thankfully he's quite the fucking opposite of that. And the way he talked to me was almost like therapeutic and a therapist. And I'm like, just put a ring on your finger. You want to get married. But it was just so nice. And it is so nice to have that understanding. Because at the end of the day, I just want to be understood. I'm not trying to say you're a bad person. I'm not trying to make you out to be a bad person. I just need, and this goes for everyone, not just this beautiful human. This goes for all the other beautiful humans in my life. When I am telling you something about how I'm feeling, that is just simply me trying to communicate and express how I'm feeling, or how you have made me feel, or the long-lasting effects of something you did to me. I just need that to be understood. And there are people in my life who, when I do that, it becomes horrible. It turns into a fight. It turns into, well, what about me? And I'm so tired of that, because there is no time limit. There is no restrictions on you coming to me if I make you feel a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Or if you just need to talk about what you're feeling in life, period. You can come to me anytime for that. But one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone, or myself, me included, when someone takes the time to muster up that courage to finally speak about what they're going through or how they feel, that you find that as the perfect opportunity to make it about yourself. Well, this is what you do to me. Okay. Right now, I need you to hear what you're doing to me, though. Like, you have all the time in the world to come and tell me what I do to you that hurts you, bothers you, pisses you off. And then I can take that time to focus on that and we can work on it. But in that moment of when it's me doing it, that shit gets shoved out the window because we want to talk about the opposite. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I don't talk at all. Because I'm so tired of that. Because more often than not, no one gives a fuck. Because more often than not, when you open your mouth and tell them how you make them feel, they're going to flip around and, well, you do this to me. Cool. So you're waiting until now to bring that up. How I'm making you feel. Why? If you've been sitting on these feelings, why are you waiting until now? Why are you waiting to use that as a gotcha moment or a tit for tat moment or a defensive moment? Why? I don't get that. I don't. But nonetheless, we have that understanding, and I absolutely fucking love it. Absolutely love it. Because I am very much interested in seeing where this can go and how far this can go. And I'm being so serious. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, I have literally been single for 10 years. 10 years. Or is it 9? It's 9. It's 9. Because I moved to Jersey at the end of 15. At the end of 15. So that's when me and literally my last boyfriend saw each other and were officially together, is when I moved to Jersey. Yeah, because he saw me off. And that was at the end of 2015. So it's really been 8 years, going on 9, going on 10. 2025 will be 10. But still, damn, bitch, that's a decade. I'm closer to 10 years than I am to 5 or 4 or 2, you know? So still, I'm just going to keep saying a decade. And it's crazy because I say that about my job too. Because where I work now, I did work there in 2015. I was going to say last job I had in my city before. It was the last job I had in my city before going to New Jersey. It's very correct. Because when my last third shift ended in 2015, my mom and him came and picked me up. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's not true because my ex had stayed and he saw us off, and then we stopped at Circle K. But anyway, yeah. And that was my last time. It was the last time there. So literally, and this is something I've been talking to myself about personally, like privately to myself. My life really disappeared 10 years ago. And that was all my doing. That was all my doing. Because I let this kind of new life take over. And let me tell you something. God don't like ugly, 1, and 2, he will humble your ass real quick. Because I got ugly in the sense of, not that I was ready to cut everyone off, because obviously my friends were still my friends and things like that. And my family was still my family. But when it was like, yo, let's move to Jersey and do this whole new life thing and just come up here and we all do it up here. Cool. Bye, friends. Bye, family. Bye, everyone. Deuces. Deuces. It's cool. Like, I'm going to be all right. Bye. No love, no nothing. Like, people who wanted to talk to me or try to be with me, sorry, I ain't got time for you. I'm building a new life. I mean, and for all intents and purposes, that's kind of ugly. And so, I mean, what happens? Boom, we get humbled. Couldn't wait to get the fuck up out of here and look where I am. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. I mean, and you know, the crazy thing is I am growing to love this place again. I couldn't wait to get out of here. I mean, because let me tell you something. That whole New York area, fucking breathtaking. Breathtaking. Beautiful. Miss it. Miss it. Miss going to the fucking Pennsylvania Lake on the West Coast and then fucking hopping over to New York City for a night on the East Coast of Jersey, because we lived in northern New Jersey. Going down to Atlantic fucking City, just a 1-day drive, fucking walking around the fucking casinos and just hopping up northeast and going to fucking Boston. I mean, that was a great life. Don't get me wrong. But I lost myself in all of that. So, like, that's why you see my YouTube videos of like, oh my God, look, my Goosebump collection is returning. Oh, look, my Pokemon collection is returning. Because I disconnected from everything to start this, like, new life. This new life we were building, you know? This whole different world. And we had money. There was money there. So, like, I didn't get rid of my fucking Goosebump books. I don't know what the fuck happened to them, and I will never be okay about it. But at least my collection's rebuilding, so I'm just like, whew. And I did sell my Pokemon games myself for $100 back in the day. Can you believe that? All of them games for $100, and I thought I was eating. You know how much it fucking cost to buy them bitches now? Woo! I'm sweating. I'm sorry. It's hot because I ain't got my car on because it makes too much noise, which means I got the AC going. But I'm trying to connect with who I was before that 10-year gap took place. And not that I'm trying to replace that 10-year gap, or not that I'm trying to be that 23-year-old Shelby again and just act like none of this ever happened. You know what I'm saying? But just trying to find myself again. Like, that's why I'm like, oh my God, my Pokemon. Oh my God, my Goosebumps. Oh my God, I'm watching scary movies. Oh my God, I'm, getting more specifically into George A. Romero's zombie movies. And I like these things. I've always enjoyed these things. And for so long, I didn't give a fuck about none of it. And now it's like, but these are the things that have always brought me joy. I got my Game Boy cleaned. Now I'm working on my Game Boy Advance. Never got rid of any of them motherfuckers for sure. But it's just those small things like, hey, this is a piece of me. And this is something that brought me joy. And this is something I always had fun with, kind of thing. So it's all just kind of chaotic right now. But I really wanted to specifically talk about my beautiful human because I almost dropped the ball on it. I guess you could say, like, because I would have eventually texted him, but the thing about me is sometimes you can't wait. You cannot just keep waiting. Because what may seem like a normal time to you, or a normal time, a comfortable time for you, may have been too fucking long for that one. You know what I'm saying? So by the time you finally muster up that courage to talk about what's on your heart, chase your goal, chase your dream, it could be too late. So I am thankful that he messaged me again last night. And I'm also so thankful that for what the powers that be, I mustered up that courage to be like, this is the time to tell him. Don't go to sleep and tell him in the morning. Don't wait 2 more days. Like, just tell him right now. And I did. I'm so thankful that it mixed, because now we are very clear in understanding and we're good. And I love that. So, and I still don't know what's going to come from this. I don't. Like, Lord knows. But I kind of find it irritating that I feel like there was already a problem this early. Like, come on. And that's what I'm sitting here thinking as he's texting me and I'm reading his text. I'm like, bitch, you already doing drama, girl. Like, he gonna run. But, and like I told him, I said, listen, I'm just rusty. I am rusty as fuck. I don't do this. Haven't done this in a long time. I'm not stuck in my ways, because I like to believe that no one is stuck in their ways, and you're only stuck in your ways if you choose to stay stuck in your ways. I am a firm believer of that. I don't believe in can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, the fuck you can, if they are willing and capable of learning. I am a firm believer in that. So when people are like, oh, you're set in your ways, you're at the age you're at, I'm glad you think that. I don't. I have hope. One thing about me, I will always have hope and faith. So I'm going to keep hoping and faithing. And I am. So, I know I can get through it. And I'm proving it. And not many people may see that, but I see it. I see the changes. And even though there may be setbacks, I may take a few steps back, but that's okay. I'm going to take so many more steps forward again. And that's still progress. And I love telling that to people. I know I said that to someone recently. I can't remember who. But I know we were having like a life conversation together about this person. Not my human, but the person I was talking to that I can't remember. And I told him that. I said, listen, even you're going here and you feel like you're going right here right now, but look how far you have come. So even if you're taking just 2 steps back, bitch, you just made 20 steps forward. So you really took you took 18 steps. Okay, that's still 18 steps forward, baby. You could have been in the same spot you was and took 5 steps back. You just always gotta kind of look at it with that positive mentality. And I know that it's hard as fuck to do, because bitch, I'm not always positive. Okay. But I know I need to work on my communication, and I think it's time that I do that. And I've always been not the greatest communicator, and I think that stems from just who I'm around, and who I've been around and how all that goes. But like, if something goes wrong, I've always got accustomed to just being quiet. If I'm fucked up, I will not talk. And there's people in my life I've been nasty with it about. Like, I won't talk, I won't look at you. Like, nasty. And I don't want to be like that. I want to be like that for people who deserve it. Like, so, you got some homophobic bitch walking around and then, being just nasty, and then one trying to be your friend. Bitch, I don't see you, I don't hear you, I don't talk to you, nothing. That's acceptable to me. But like, if it's people you're trying to fuck with, or again, people in your circle, that's not healthy. And I'm glad I can say that. That's growth within itself, because in the moment of all those times, in hindsight, I wish I wasn't like that with some people, because now they're gone. And if I can go back and change it, I would. See? But that's how change will get you. Because I see that lesson. I see the lesson. Let me learn from it. That's why it's never too late to change, baby. It's never too late to change if you want to. If you want to learn your lesson and move on, you will learn that lesson and move on. If you want to stay and wallow in it and just continue to be a sourpuss, it's your prerogative. You're in your right. It's your life. But find out how many people around you. So, I don't know. It's all about what you want to do with your life. But all I know is over here, I got some work to do. And over here, I've been doing some better work. And look at it. I'm about to have me a South American husband. Oh, y'all, he's so fine. And I'm genuinely glad that we had that conversation, because he just walked all up in the camera view. And what's crazy is he walked through the front the first time, just gawking over here. So he sees me talking, sees me looking at my camera, and this time decided to go around to come into view. Ooh, people piss me off, but you know what? That's all right. I'm glad we had that conversation. I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna say because this motherfucker done got me scatterbrained. But genuinely, I'm so glad we had that conversation. I'm glad that that happened. Because it wasn't sent right with me anyway. And I would have talked to him about it eventually, but it just was not sent right with me. And God knows, like I said, who knows when I would have finally been like, all right, cool, now I will tell you. And that's not okay. But just the way he's very comforting with, listen, you ever feel a certain type of way? Talk to me. I got you. Okay, period. Then I got you. If you got me, I got you. At the end of the motherfucking day. If you got me, I promise I got you. I got you with no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you can do the same for me. Because so much of my life is constantly giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and I'm not seeing a lot of receiving. Not getting a lot of feedback, you know? And when I ask for some feedback, when I ask for help, when I ask to just leave me the fuck alone so I can recoup and recharge, I'm an asshole. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad guy. And 60% of that probably stems from how I'm doing it because I'm pissed off, because I'm frustrated, because I'm tired. You know, so again, my delivery on my communication is not chef's kiss. It's not chef's kiss. It's probably like chef's foot. But, oh, pew. Okay, it ain't that bad. Maybe like chef's knee. Oh, but chef's foot, pew. But, I mean, but sometimes my shit do be shitty. Like, it can be. It can. In my very extreme moments, it can get nasty. And I don't like that. Never have, never will. But, you know, it's like when the same fucking process just keeps happening and happening and happening and happening and happening, it's bound to get shitty. You know, because no one's listening to each other. No one's listening to me. And I just want to be heard. So, that's that on that. I feel great. I'm so glad we talked. I'm literally about to go kiss. Oh, let me not say that. Oh, it's very nice. I'm sure maybe one day you will see us together on the socials. Maybe. Who knows? I would not be opposed to it. Is that the right word? That's the right word, right? I don't oppose it. I'm going to do this unless you oppose. No, I don't oppose. Okay, yeah. So I would not be opposed to that if that were to happen. But we shall see. Only time will tell. But I'm pretty sure, because, I mean, girl, the way we be talking. Like, so I was obviously reading his messages as, you know, earlier. He's not texting me now because he's waiting for my response. But, like, I was reading what he was saying, and then, okay, I got you. So, that's very nice. And if anything, this has taught me not to go to the extreme and just be like, everyone's trying to use me and everyone's just got this. I need to stop looking at everyone as malicious. Though there are so many malicious people out here. Everything I tend to do in an extreme. So if my friends want a game, I'll fucking game with them for 7 fucking hours. Instead of just be like, cool, let's do 2 hours of game in and cut it off. If I want to fucking, think everyone's bad, or if I'm trying to cut out the malicious people or view the malicious people, then fuck it, everyone's malicious. You know, if I want to fucking If I want to talk to someone, I want to talk to you right now. So I'm going to blow you up, and then when you don't respond, you know what I'm like, everything's too extreme for me. I just started playing my Pokemon Leaf Green. Already got 24 hours in the game, and I've only been playing for 3 days. Extreme. But you know what? It's all right. Some things it's good to be extreme. Chase your dreams extremely, bitch. Do that. Which I kind of am, because hello, welcome to MoKi's Scatterbrain Podcast episode 2. When just a year ago, I was struggling to, like, not even try to push content. That's not true. A year ago, I was pussy popping in Florida with my best friend, and we was getting that content out. But even then, I still got Florida videos on my phone that I've yet to post. I mean, y'all finally got what? The final run of Florida, what, in like December? How many months after, you know? Fuck, it might have been January. I don't know. Maybe November. But anyway, a long time, right? And now here I am, like, podcast on Wednesdays, content on Sundays, OF on Tuesdays or Thursdays, can't remember. And then TikTok is Wednesdays as well, but usually just Sundays video. Like, I'm, you know, a little extreme. So, you know, certain things like that can be nice. But, like, bitch, just assuming everyone's the same and then cut everyone off, it should not be extreme. That should not be extreme. Mental health, now, if you're cutting someone off or a group of people off because it ain't good for your mental health, good, do that. But, like, just because something happened between you and your friend, bitch, talk to him, ho. Talk to him. It's okay. Talk to him. Get it figured out. Get it understood. Move on. Period. Let that be all of 2024. If there is someone you want to work out with, whether it's your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your lover, your potential lover, whoever, your co-worker, whoever, then talk to them. Don't let them get away, you know? Now, if it's some people who ain't good for you, let them go. There are people who are not good for me who I still think about. And there are often times, and I love it, I love my group of people, because when I talk to these, you know, my people, like, you know, this person's heavy on my mind, I was thinking about reconnecting, they're like, don't. They're psychotic, they're crazy, don't do it. You know what, you're right, I needed that check, thank you. You know, you just got to figure it out. Life is all about figuring it out. And none of us got it figured out. I don't give a fuck what anyone say. I don't give a fuck how much money you have, how rich you are, how successful you are. You ain't got it figured out. You don't. You ain't got the secret formula figured out. No one do. No one do. And when you think you do, then something happened to be like, bitch, you ain't got it figured out. Another thing I've been telling myself a lot too is, and then, God, I think TikTok helped me realize this, but, like, this is all of our first time living. This ain't round 2 for us. This is not round 600 for anyone. This is literally round 1 for all. For all. You know, we're all experiencing life together differently, but we are all experiencing whatever the fuck we're experiencing in life for the first time. Every single one of us, our parents, our grandparents, us, our cousins, our co-workers, our neighbors, everyone is experiencing life for the first time. And I try to tell myself that, especially when, you know, I get frustrated and such. You know, it's all our first time doing this, so let's just try to do it with peace and love. With peace and love. Signed, MoKi. Respectfully. Those are my 3 words I love saying. With peace and love, respectfully. Because I know sometimes I can sound pretty cutthroat, so respectfully. Anywho, we are just 45 seconds shy of an hour in. I did it. Hallelujah. My pussy's sweating. My pussy's hot. I'm gonna air this the fuck out and go do what I gotta do. Because this is the end of podcast number 2. And I will see you guys in a week. It's going to be post-Pride, so that's going to be a fun conversation. Oh, post-Pride, but... Oh, this comes out... Oh, yeah, period. It's going to be fun. Post-Pride, we finna eat. Y'all gonna eat it the fuck up. I love you guys. I will see you all in episode number 3. MoKi out. Bye.